Hello guys, it's Peter from PS Sound, and this is going to be an explained video showing this build in this 911 997 Carrera S. It's going to be a short one, unfortunately, because we've been talking with the owner and his friend for a long time, because their history in car audio goes back 25 or even more years. And yeah, when audiophiles come together, you can talk for ages. And the time is ticking, and I have family duties in the evening. So I want to show this build to you. I don't want to miss it. Hopefully we will see this car back and we will be able to cover more. But hopefully this short video will also give you a rough idea about what's happening in this 911. Because there are not many 911s currently around with proper audio systems. It's rather challenging to get proper sound in these cars. Some of you have seen the pictures on our social channel, and the feedback we've received has been crazy. I really appreciate all your comments, guys. To be fair, I understand, because this build has turned out so good, it looks so good, and it sounds so great. Unfortunately, not many of you will be able to hear it, and I don't even think I have time to shoot videos of, demoing it, because everyone wants to hear recordings and.
Good headphones, they sound great at home.
Yeah. I guess you have listened to some of those.
I have, definitely.
And that's the reality. If the videos sound great, then it has to sound even better in real life. Okay, let's focus. Let's go through it. So we have a three-way front end. To be fair, the car had a system in it. When it came to us, it had a three-way front end, and that was it. There was nothing else in it, and it was installed by the owner, standing behind me. It took you a while, didn't it?
It's taken me a project over a few years.
Unfortunately.
Be kind, please, Peter, be kind.
I gave you my feedback and I couldn't say anything bad about it. Yes, we knew that installation needed a bit of TLC, but it wasn't bad. Even if we had kept what you did and just tuned it, it would have been still pretty good.
Yeah.
So originally this car had 8-inch drivers in the doors, because the factory door location can have an 18. Well, the factory is actually 8-inch, right?
So. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, you brought me, actually. That's what we used as a template for mounting the 4KLW RC 6.5-inch mid-bass drivers. It also has a location for 4-inch mids, where now we have the 4K Utopia 3.5 WM and the tweeter that comes with the WRC 2-way Utopia kit. So this tweeter is not the big boy tweeter, right? Yeah.
Looks the same.
Looks the same,
Slightly
sounds very similar, slightly cheaper, yeah. So that's how we have a three-way, fully active system here. So every single speaker has its independent amplifier channel. This way we can set time alignment, we can sort out the timing, the phase, the response. So every single driver has 31 band EQ behind them. We didn't use all of the EQs, but yes, unlike the mid-range, I think I ran out in your car as well, to get the response matching from left to right as much as possible and to measure linear. If you want to see the measurements of this car, I have to say here as well that we have our Patreon channel where we have RT evaluations, and over there you will be able to see what this car was measuring like and how it got tuned. So that's the front end. And then we have a subsection at the back that it's a bit extensive looking, shall we say. So our brief was not to fill up this space, because you didn't want that. And I could see a way to fit 8-inch drivers in that gap, which has a drop down, and usually it's just storage space, isn't it?
It's just empty space.
Once we took out that insulation, which is pretty thick, then we gained an extra 2 inches going down, so we could gain enough space for a sealed enclosure. And originally we wanted 2/8 in the car, and as I was building the enclosure, I was thinking, you know what, we could actually have 4 here. And many people now may ask that, why would you need more than 2? And in a car that's quiet on the road, you would possibly be okay with 2 of these, but this car is not quiet on the road, shall we say, although I haven't heard it. One day you may take me for a ride, but I'm familiar with the nature of the sport car, and to overcome the road noise, Most of the times you will listen to music while driving on a louder level, probably a good 6 to 10 dB louder than you would do it in a Mercedes E-Class or a 5 Series BMW, let alone the really quiet top-end cars, the S-Class, 7 Series and all those, where you can listen to music at like 80-85 dB and you can really hear every single detail. In a car like this, you really have to turn it up. So, because we have a relatively small enclosure, two of the drivers had to work harder to achieve the same dynamic levels, whereas now we have more cone area. So we only use 4 of them because with more cone area we have the ability to tune the subs properly, RTA it and EQ it, so we can make it sound more linear, and with the added cone area we can push the low end, which is really difficult in a short cabin like this. In a longer cabin, these subs would play down with way more level, below 35 Hz, but in this short cabin they struggle a bit. It's not that the subs can't deliver it, they play it, but you just simply don't hear it until, let's say, you drop the windows. Then the low end really comes alive. But when you drive, the windows are up and you would have to push 2 drivers to the limit. Whereas here, you have 4 of them sharing the task, and then this way, yes, it's an easier job for the drivers to play anything below 35. They don't have to work that hard, simply. And again, if you want to see how it got tuned, it will be explained even better in the RTA video. So that's the reason behind 4 drivers. But as I say, 2 would be perfectly enough for a front end like this. And actually, even if these are 8-inch drivers from JL, the 8W3 version 3, they really surprised us because they play way lower than what you can expect from an 8-inch driver. Yes, the W7 could be a different level of animal, but yeah, the W7 needs a lot of space physically, and we didn't have that room for those, let alone the budget. At least these are relatively cheap, so even 4 of them, you know, are not going to kill anyone, or nobody wants to pull their hair out. So this turned out really great, because then this way it doesn't fill up all that. The enclosure was built from birch ply, and that's pretty light. I think it's around 8 kilo for the whole enclosure, and then the weight of the subs. So still, we haven't added much weight by that. The source is a Pioneer doubled in, nothing magical. It does CarPlay, it plays lossless from SD card, USB, it still has a CD player, and that's fed into a Helix P6 DSP amp, and that's where we come to the front. So this was installed by the owner beautifully, and once the trim panels go back, it hides and it looks completely OEM, which is great. So we have main power coming out of the battery, main fuse holder, then from that the power comes down to another fuse block. There, that splits our 2 amps now. The owner first only had the P6 running the freeway, and then that has a pair of RCAs, you can see over there, feeding the signal into the Helix amp, and that's a 1 ohm cable monoblock, so that runs the 4 subs on 1 ohm. That's how we have this simple amplification all hidden, because once this panel is put back, that's it, it hides the amplifier completely. So it's still practical, there's plenty of space, and we will see in the summer how that amplifier is going to deal with heat, because yes, it's a bit tugged in, but at least it's Class D, so it's not going to dissipate as much heat as an AB amplifier would. So that's pretty much the hardware and how it has all come together. You will see pictures at the end of the video where we will show how we treated the door. Although the deadening was done by the owner, we just had a bit more TLC on the door cards with additional absorbers to minimize rattles. We also had to take the whole roof and the whole mechanism apart. That was a pain. That was a nice little job, because you don't know how much rattle you are going to face until you have the subs installed, you turn it up, and then see how the car behaves. Well, this car was not built for base performance, that's for sure. Especially when you have 4 of these babies, and if you turn them up, yes, they can create pressure levels, and then everything was buzzing and wanted to fall apart. So it was quite a challenge to get everything rattle free. We've done a great job. We couldn't get rid of everything. I can't say that now this is completely rattle free. It's not, but from where we started, we made a huge, and we fixed the roof glass as well, because the mechanism wasn't sliding smoothly, and yeah, it's time. Now it's all lubricated and everything is put back properly, because it wasn't. Someone did work on it, and yeah, now it's working. So that's the system. I think I will have a short little teaser video later, shared later. I'm not gonna have a video recorded how it plays inside. Trust me, it sounds just as good as any of the builds we do, especially with this gear. I will have a few videos rather showing the subs, because I know many people requesting us showing how the subs move, especially 4 of them. It's just something that men love. I don't deny, I love seeing multiple subs moving. I don't know, put it in the comment section why do men love seeing multiple subs moving with great excursion? I don't know, it's a fetish maybe. So I will have a video where we will have a bit of fun of that. Also I will show a bit of clamping, because we had a clamping test on this, how much the system is drawing. And then you will be able to see also the RT evaluation on Patreon, on our Patreon channel. You can check out the link to that channel in description, and you can learn more about this system. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. Just a short little walk around video. You will see all the build pictures at the end, so don't just go away. And then hopefully we can deliver more videos to you in the future. And for now, that's pretty much it. Can you say anything about, well, you see, you should say about something about this project, because
Actually,
you know,
I'm just glad I brought it here to Peter. Peter's been very helpful, and brought it forward much more than I could have expected. So I'm very pleased.
Yeah.
Actually, I just want to get out and drive it and listen to it at the moment.
Exactly. But yeah, you came down to me a few months ago
That's right.
to have a chat,
Yeah.
listen to some of the cars we have, and then you came to a meeting as well.
That's right.
And it became pretty clear that this car needed improvement. I don't think how I could actually make a better sounding system in a car like this, to be fair, giving more enjoyment.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about always building compatible systems and pushing everything to when it comes to accuracy. It's also about how it matches the car's personality.
Yeah. Yeah. And enjoyment, I think.
And enjoyment,
That's what it's about.
exactly. So this will definitely be a fun system now to drive home. That's that. You know what? That's the best.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
The first drive, and then a few weeks later, oh Pete, can we still improve this? Can we still do that? Because there's always, you know, room for that. But what you want is to keep it still OEM looking,
Yeah, definitely.
and not going over the top. I think. Oh, we have to put it. No, people will see the pictures how it looks like with the clothed grille in place, because we have a cover going there with magnets. It pops in and then it covers the subs, and then it looks more OEM. But I wanted to show it to people, so we took it off. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Hopefully you liked it. Feel free to share it, comment, all the usual things, and then we will see you in the next one. Take care.